I'm gonna do this, man. Like, I'm gonna go out to California. I'm gonna join this band. What's the worst that could happen, or what's the best that could happen? You know, every single time I was on stage, it was an aha moment, man. From playing my very first show with Iya Terra to the very last show with Iya Terra. Like, I could be having the shittiest day. I could be having an anxiety-filled day, and when I'm on stage playing in front of everybody, everything disappears. This is Nick Sefakis, and you're watching the ZHZ podcast, baby. What's the rule on smoking on the stream?
I don't care what you do.
Should I?
I just wish you could pass it through.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know if there was any like child-friendly laws we follow.
You know what, dude? Let's just be real. You know what I mean? Like, funny story about that. Like, do you remember, like, I don't know if they ever did that when you were a kid in school, but they had the cop to come over, like the dare cop, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And he'd come around and talk. Well, back then, they would actually light a joint, you know? Like, they would have a joint and they would light it on a little roach clip and they'd be, like, talking about it. And they would, like, walk around like, here, take a whiff. This is what it, and then they would be like,
just getting everybody's secondhand.
Well, just get, just enough to smell it, and then he would ask, like, so if you know of any of like your mom or your dad, or if you ever smell that around them, just let us know. And I was like, what an asshole, man.
He's trying to get
totally trying to get us to rat our family out.
That's hilarious, man.
And as a kid, man,
I remember that. I remember him. They didn't light the J.
Oh yeah, they stopped doing that a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah. They brought the bag though. Weed. That was the first time I ever smelled or saw weed. They brought.
I just remember. I mean, because I was coming up through school. It was during the Reagan years, the Just Say No. So I was kind of pre-Dare. Okay. And in our little education classes they give us, trying to scare us away from everything, they'd explain, okay, now with this drug, people say that they feel this and this and this and this and this, and I'm like,
sounds fun.
Is this supposed to be telling? That sounds like a great time, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
The DARE program didn't seem to work quite as they intended.
Nick, welcome to the show, man. I'm so stoked to have you on,
Thanks,
dude.
man.
I was sitting there looking at like your accolades. You're a former guitarist for Iya Terra. We'll get into the details of this, but I just want to go down this list. Somehow I acquired this through some scrubbing here, but you joined in 2014 with Iya Terra as a guitarist and vocalist. Then you started your solo career with Foundation in 2020, which actually hit number 2 on the iTunes US Reggae charts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did a Foundation in Dub, which hit, I believe, number 13 in the iTunes US Reggae charts. Mm-hmm. And then you have Nick Sefakis meets Elliot Martin, which was number 4 on the iTunes US Reggae charts. Then you have Hear My Sound in 2022, which hit number 5. It had 17 tracks, 7 features, and then your just latest one is In Time,
yes.
and also, and that's with Eureka Sound, and then also on Reggae 360s, you are also the breakout artist of the year for on 2020.
Back in 2020 when I released that.
That's a hell of a start, man.
That was a cool way to kind of acknowledge my efforts as a solo artist, for sure. I appreciate them for that.
Well, because I can imagine, like, you'd spent, like, well, I don't know, at least 10 years almost, right? As with Iya Terra, like, you're in that sort of mindset as being a band member, and to switch from that to, like, now I'm on my own, doing my own thing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
It was more of like, it was like when I released Foundation, it wasn't necessarily me stepping out to do my own thing. It was just kind of like, I just make so much music, and being that it was starting to be like our only job, like I had a lot of time to do that, and not everything fit with Iya Terra. So, and I had music, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna, like, the more music the better, I'm just gonna release this. But it kind of, like, not seeing where we're at now, it was like a good thing I did. For sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. So
thanks, bro. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been the iTunes charts. Those are cool too, but like the streaming numbers and stuff for this new record, I'm thankful for. We didn't get on the iTunes charts, but
it's vanity metrics, man. So we just put out a new song, Find My Flame, and I'm excited that I found out today we're at 850 streams, man. Like, I'm just trying to break that
Hey.
1,000 stream mark, you know?
Congrats, man.
Yeah, well, and I'm throwing money at it, you know. I'm doing some advertising and stuff too, but it's like, man, it's tough to just get you have to break the noise, you know, and
It is, man.
it's
Really.
nice. What's that?
It really is tough, man. I was really blessed with Iya Terra to, like, you know, have a lot of fans from them still that support my solo stuff. And
Right,
to
you had a
just
good-
do what we did with them. So, like, I feel you, man. I look back 10 years ago, just remembering trying to get a band off the ground in Utah. And
It's a
I
grind.
hear you, bro.
Yeah, it's a grind, man. It's a grind. We do have we have our first gig booked though.
Yeah, your first gig?
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
go.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
Where at?
yeah.
Funk and Dive in Ogden.
Okay.
This is a
You guys
little
both
bar.
in the
Like,
band?
what's that?
You guys are both in the band?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Sorry to introduce.
So-
So
Yeah.
this is Matt Allen. He's
So-
our trumpet player and
So yeah,
co-host.
Zach and I
Oh,
met
yeah.
in '91, hustling games on the Midway at Lagoon. Man, it
What?
was a slow afternoon. We were working games next to each other, so we just started shooting
Yeah.
shit. And of course, with either one of us, before within about 2 minutes, the conversation's always going to turn to music. And he's like, "So what's
Right.
your favorite band?" And I'm like, "Boingo Boingo." And his eye is like lit up. He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, I want to start a band." I'm like, "Dude, I've always wanted to be in a band." And he's like, "You play?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm a trumpet player." And he's like, "Ah!" And like we started our first band that summer, and we've been playing music, creating music, and now doing the podcast and everything. So it's 35
Awesome.
years this summer, man. So
Yeah, we've been around a while, man. I'm an old dude, man.
I love
just-
it, man.
I just turned 51, man.
What?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So,
You look young, man. 51
man.
is wild.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm old.
51
I
is
look in the. Yeah, well, he's 52.
that's only
Y'all
because
look
I'm
good,
older than
man.
you, though, man.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
It's only because you're.
It's that good, clean living, man. That's
Right. Good clean living. Good
Yes,
clean
sir.
living. Yes, sir. Awesome.
That's awesome, man. Congrats, dude. That's awesome you met at Lagoon. I used to frequent Lagoon as a youth.
right.
Oh yeah, everyone did. That was the place to go. Like, what else you gonna do, man?
Yeah, right?
Lagoon still has the monopoly market on amusement parks, man. Like,
Yeah.
nothing can compare. But
For sure, man. I almost lost my life on the white roller coaster one time. The lap bar came up at the top, dude. At the top of that.
as you're going over the crest,
Yeah, dude, at the very top, the lap bar popped up and I grabbed my friends.
they're like holding you down. Like,
You're
"We'll
either
get
gonna
Yeah.
save my life or I'm taking you with me, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was terrifying. I never rode the white roller coaster after that.
Oh,
but
dude, that
everything
thing
else,
is. Well, and
Yeah.
it's not even white anymore. They
Yeah,
gave up on painting it. It's
Yeah.
just a big
Bro.
brown.
now it's called
and
the
it-
wooden roller
And
coaster.
no, and it's still. I was last summer. I'm a YouTube moderator for several Disney live streamers, and one of them was out here. His
Oh,
wife
cool.
was at a conference, so he and I went to Lagoon, and he did a live stream. But he's like, "Wait a minute, the roller coaster is called roller coaster." I'm like,
That
"Yeah,
is
it's just
it.
no
That's
bones
what it
about
is
it, man.
now.
It's
Yeah.
just roller coaster, man."
Yep. And the last time I rode it, my back was never the same, man. So I don't ride it anymore either, dude. Yeah. Oh,
It
is like-
feels like it's 100 and some odd years old,
Yeah.
man.
all right. Well, let's dive into a little bit of your history. So you were born in Utah, raised in Salt Lake City area.
Yeah, man.
Explain, like, so let's talk a little bit about how you got started with Iya Terra.
Yeah, I had started a band in Utah called the Rocksteadies. Like after I stopped playing sports and stuff, I started a band, was going to like community college and got really into it. And then that band we broke up eventually. And I saw that I was a fan of Iya Terra, and I saw that Nathan, the lead singer, was looking for a guitarist and vocalist one day. I just woke up, I was in bed, I remember, and I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw he they were looking for a member, and I hit him up and I was like, yo, like, I'm interested in this. He didn't take me seriously at first. He said, like,
Oh,
he's
cool.
like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And he's like, we'll be in Vegas if you want to come to our show, like on this date. So I came to the show. They invited me to one of their rehearsals, and I went there and we jammed together and hit it off, became homies, and I told him I'd move out there. And so at the start of January in 2015, I moved out there, They were just finishing Full Circle, their album Full Circle.
Okay.
I was hanging out with the guys back then. They were showing me the masters of that and stuff. And yeah, a few months after I moved out there, they hit me up to start rehearsing with them and join the band. And yeah, man, I kind of just jumped out there on a limb. I moved out to California not knowing for sure that I was going to be in the band.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I never got the confirmation.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's crazy. It's a leap of faith right there, man.
It was, dude. It was crazy. And all my family's in Utah still and stuff. And
yeah.
So it was, you know, I'm a homebody and stuff. So it was crazy. Looking back on it, it's wild. But this whole last 10 years has been crazy wild, man. Just looking back on it.
Yeah.
With the whole Iya Terra experience. But
well, man, you totally you saw the chance and you jumped, man. And that right there sets you apart from 99% of the population, man. Because 99% of the population is listing out the reasons why they shouldn't do some shit like that.
Right.
And you did it.
Thanks, bro. I'd spent my whole life being an athlete. My parents were like big. My dad and my grandpa went to college, both on scholarship for sports, basketball, football. So my whole life was like, you're gonna go on scholarship to do this and that and this and that. So I was real good in high school, man, in football. I ended up not having really the grades to go to like a big school. I walked on at a Snow College, like a community, or like kind of like a junior college.
Yeah.
And Ephraim, baby.
Yeah, Ephraim, man. Yeah, the really good football program and music program.
Yeah.
So we played there, and then, you know, my career just ended, man. They said they were going to give my scholarship to this kid from Alabama, this transfer, and I was just like, you know what, like, maybe this isn't for me. So I stopped playing football, you know? So, like, at that point in my life, I was like, I was just going to college. I was like, what do I want to do with my life, bro? Like, am I really just going to work like a fucking day job the rest of my life? Like, this is the time right now to like make a decision like that, like move to California or something.
Take a chance.
Because I was like, fuck this, dude. Because I had been working jobs and stuff, obviously, from like, I worked at like Jimmy John's, a bunch of food places growing up, like as a teenager. I worked for like Land Rover and driving cars around. I was just like, man, going from like every day in sports, you have a goal, right? Like, I need to get better. I need to make this team. I need to hit this many yards this season. I need to get this accolade. And then my life kind of just, there was all of a sudden like, okay, well, that's over, bro. So I have a passion to always get better at stuff I'm passionate about. So I was like, I just started channeling it into music. You know, I found like a lot of love and a lot of comfort in music, man, like in that huge change in my life. And that's what it was just like, you know what, I'm going to do this, man. Like, I'm going to go out to California. I'm going to join this band. What's the worst that could happen? Or what's the best that could happen, you know?
Well, and the thing is,
I think I think the best that could happen did happen, you know? Like, worst could happen is like, it didn't work. Yeah. I go to work, you know?
I go back.
And the thing is, too, man, you can always come home. You can, you know, you have that place where you can land, where you have people that you know, people that love you, and that, you know, that if, you know, that worst comes to worst, you know, you can always go back. But, man, you know what? Once that opportunity passes you by, it may not come again.
Yeah, man. You can't take those opportunities back, that's for sure. So gotta make it happen. So I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful it played out how it did, for sure. It's been a wild ride.
Oh yeah, man.
Dig it, man.
So,
Thanks.
And a lot of people know you from the years of Iya Terra. What was the biggest aha moment? That was Matt's question. I just took it from him though.
The biggest aha moment?
Yeah.
Regarding like
just like, this is it. This is it, man. This is where I'm at.
Kind of like we're really doing it type of moment.
Like Matt can explain it.
I mean, I think we kind of like refer to the aha moment as this kind of one seminal moment in time where you think, you know what? Yes, this is what I am meant to do. This is what I want to do. And this is where my life is going.
For sure. Every single time I was on stage, it was an aha moment, man. From playing my very first show with Iya Terra to the very last show with Iya Terra. Even when shit sucked in Iya, and, you know, I think it's pretty obvious at this point, like some of those last shows, like the vibes weren't always the greatest between the guys on stage and shit. Even those ones, man, I value. Like, there's a that was my aha moment, man. Like, I could be having the shittiest day, I could be having an anxiety-filled day, and when I'm on stage playing in front of everybody, everything disappears like that, you know. And that's when I knew, when I get off stage and I was like, whoa, what just happened? It feels like a dream every time. You're like, this is what you're supposed to be doing, man. Like, the way you felt, those dopamine, whether it's a dopamine rush,
it is. It's a rush,
all that stuff. But like, those are those moments you just really feel like you're living into your purpose, you know, sharing that energy with people, sharing moments with people, creating moments with people. It just made me feel so alive, bro. Like, strangers all across the country, creating moments in person with these people. I'm just like, that was my aha feeling every time. I got sucked to the present moment, and I was just like, aha, like, this is why I'm doing this.
Well, and you know, those moments that you talk about creating, like those moments in a live show, because the energy is cyclical, man, and energy feeds off of itself and it grows.
Yeah.
So as a band, you're putting the vibe out to the crowd, and when the crowd is vibing and they're sending it right back up to you, and you feed off of it, so you send it back out and they feed off of the music and they send it right back, and it's just kismet, man. It's beautiful.
It really is magic. It's like some of the closest things to magic that we can experience live in person.
I always think that, like, that moment that we're talking about is like the closest you can, the highest I have ever got spirituality.
What?
You know what I mean? Closest, like you said, it's like that connection. Like, it's when it's like you can almost see the connection to every soul, including yourself.
Really cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So yeah.
I like that. That's what I mean. I've had that. That's cool you compare that, because it's like, you know, we've had like mushroom trips and stuff where you feel that way. But when you're living in your purpose, you don't need anything to feel that way.
It's pure,
accessible,
man, and it comes from. I think that it's so cool because it comes from inside you and inside them, and in just everything connecting you, the air, just the vibe, man.
And just you can see, like, you wrote these songs with emotion too, you know. You wrote these songs about certain things that resonate inside of you. So when you're traveling and you play them on stage in front of people, and you can see like the emotion in somebody's eyes, like, coming out, just really resonating with like your expression. It's just really magic, man. It's just so, like, you don't have to stand there. It's a way of influencing people, but like,
You don't know how you're influencing them either.
yeah, you're not like directly telling them what to think or do. You're kind of just like, I feel you, and
You gave them
we
a
all
gift.
share this emotion.
It's
you
like
know?
you,
you're not
like-
alone in this shit. Like,
Right.
you're not. We're all in this right now. and-
Right, we're all and you never know who you're touching. You know what I mean? Like, I used to always get asked when we do gigs and stuff. Some guy would come up and be like, "Hey, you know that song? What did you write that about?" And I'm like, "Well, what does it mean to you?" Because most likely, whatever it meant to me when I wrote it, it's probably not nearly as cool as what it means to you.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
I wrote a song called Cyclone one time, and I literally was sitting there thinking of a song theme. I just had the music, and I had just bought a fucking fan. The brand was called Cyclone. And I looked at it and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna write a song called Cyclone. And I just started building, like, energy move like a cyclone. Like, I started building a whole chorus around the word, and the whole theme came around it. But I was like, dude, you can find inspiration in the weirdest shit.
I know, right? And you never know who like loved that song.
Yeah.
Meant something completely deep and something to you, and you're like, they're like, what did it mean to you? I'm like, well, I bought this fan. And
yeah, right. You're like, no, that's what you're like, totally, dude. That's totally what it meant.
It's exactly.
Like,
I wrote it about that. What you went through. Yeah, exactly, dude. But that's the great thing, is that you don't really know how many people you're touching and impacting, and you may never know just how true and deep that impact is. But you do get glimpses of it when you're at a show and people are singing the song back to you. You know, almost better than you can sing it yourself. You're just like, damn, you know.
For sure.
But yeah.
So do you miss the band dynamic at all, or do you prefer having absolute control over what you're creating?